Let me put another question in front of you because I had explained you two default behaviors when versioning is not enabled. We had seen storing multiple copies of an object. Okay. Another question is, can you permanently delete an object in a versioning enabled bucket? Now listen to my question very carefully. Okay. Can you permanently delete? If I'm asking you this question very straightforward, the answer to this question is yes. So you would be thinking, then what is the difference? I am not saying that you can't permanently delete an object. I am saying if you have a versioning enabled in the bucket, you can restore the object back if you have performed a deletion action. Now, please listen to my keywords very carefully. I'm again repeating. This side is the object. This side is the object version. So you can restore the object back from the deletion only if there would be at least one copy of that object or one version of that object present. Okay. Means if you have to permanently delete an object in a very simple way, simply delete all the versions. When nothing would be left, an object will automatically be deleted. So you can perform delete action either here or here. Okay, means you can perform delete action either on object or on object version. Now, object version deletion action you can't restore. I can show you. Let me click on delete. It is saying permanently delete. Deleting the specified object can't be undone. Okay. But on the other side, if I am deleting an object in a versioning enabled bucket, this time it is saying that deleting the specified object, add a delete marker to them. It's not asking me to type permanently delete. And what this delete marker is actually, this delete marker is a configuration which is added on top of the object, okay, when you are performing a deletion action. Okay, means instead of deleting the object, S3 will mark that object deleted. So object is not deleted. So it will be adding a delete marker on top of object versions. Let me show you. See here. So for you, the object is gone, but still we have a way to restore it. Can you see? It has added delete marker on top of all these objects. Okay. And if you want to restore your object back, delete this delete marker. Everybody, let's do it and say delete. This delete marker got deleted. Okay. And you got your object back. So idea is whenever you're going to practice, you can understand that if you're performing a deletion action here, this action can be undone. Okay. But if you are performing a deletion action on object versions, this action can't be undone. Okay. So if somebody is asking you, don't get confused. Can you permanently delete an object in a versioning enabled bucket? Simply say delete all the object versions associated with that object. Okay. If somebody is asking you, can you restore the object back if you have deleted it in a versioning enabled S3 bucket? Answer is yes. So we can remove the delete markers which is added on top of all the object version. Okay. So this was the whole concept of versioning. Now, why I have explained you versioning? Because when I am going to show you creating a life cycle rule, it will be using versioning in picture. Let's see. Go to management and create a life cycle rule. Okay. Now you can provide a life cycle rule name. Let's say I'm providing a name demo life cycle rule. Okay. It is giving you two radio buttons. Means you can limit the scope of this rule by applying one or more filter. You can provide prefixes. Means let's say if you only want to apply the life cycle rules to some of the object in the S3 bucket, you have 100 plus object, or you have object of different type. Some are txt, some objects are .png, jpg, html, like that. Okay. So you can use prefixes. We had already understood the concept of prefixes. Okay. If you want to apply this rule to all the objects in a bucket, select second radio button. You have to provide acknowledgement, and here you can choose the lifecycle rules action. Transition current versions of object between storage classes, transition non-current versions of object between storage classes, and many more. Current means latest, non-current means previous versions. Okay, so let's say I'm transitioning the current versions of the object between storage classes. And if I have to delete the object, I'm going to delete the non-current versions of the object. Okay, so these two rules, actions I'm applying. Now, I always believe in one thing: cost comes with comfort. If you're looking for more comfort, you have to pay the charges. The same thing it is saying here. Transitions are charged per request. Okay, so I'm providing the acknowledgement. Now, you can explain your behavior. For example, after 30 days, I want to move it to standard IA. After, I can say that 90 days, 30 in the standard storage, 60 in standard IA. Okay, I want to move it to Glacier instant retrieval. Okay, after 180 days, I want to move it to the Glacier flexible retrieval. Now you're seeing a hierarchy. You can go from top to down, but not from down to top. Means once I have selected Glacier instant retrieval, you can move the object into these classes, not on the top classes. Okay. And here I'm writing that I want to permanently delete non-current versions of object after 365 days. It is asking me how many newer versions you want to retain. So if you only have to retain the latest copy, so say only one. Okay. Now see this hierarchy. Day 0 object uploaded. Day 30 object moved to standard IA. Day 90 object moved to Glacier instant retrieval. Day 180 object moved to Glacier flexible retrieval. And finally, if I'm talking about deletion behavior, day 0 object becomes non-current, and day 365 one newest non-current versions are retained. Okay, you can also compare it with the pointers I had written. For 30 days, immediate access; for 60 days, infrequent access; for 180 days, archive object; and after 365 days, delete your object. Now, this is not a standard. It was just an example. Obviously, you can decide your examples by yourself. Okay. So going back, if you are going to click on create rule, you will be able to see in picture that this rule will be coming into the picture automatically. Okay. And the objects will be transitioned from one storage class to another storage class as a part of the rules you have set. Also, object will become non-current or object will be expired after a certain duration. So click on create rule, everybody, and you will be seeing this rule here. So this is something I wanted to show you as a part of this particular video lecture. Okay. So what we have concluded here? We have concluded that we want to understand different features of S3, and we talked about life cycle rules, versioning, and folders. Okay, we're not done yet. Don't worry. We are going to discuss many more pointers as a part of this video lecture series.